Then in 7 1 3 5 3 4 6 1. Hello guys, this is Felipe Coelho, and I'm glad to be back with you. Today I'd like to suggest some drills that I personally like to use for warming up and for building vocabulary. I believe that practice time is like opening a path in a big map of possibilities, and that's what drills are for, or to make sure that you cover all corners of possibilities. Of course they're endless, but you're doing as much as you can, and these translate into vocabulary. Whenever you're going to improvise, you have ran more possibilities, and it's more easy for you to access the things that you obviously have played before. So I'm just going to use for today just an F major scale with 3 notes per string. So we're going to have this to begin with. And what I like to do is see the scale in the whole neck. I'm not really thinking about the patterns here, such as Dorian and Phrygian and so on, but I'm really thinking about the intervals. I'm trying to see the whole neck as one big F major. So for that I need to see my roots, and I need to see the intervals that are around these roots. So major second. What I want is an Ionian set of intervals, or Ionian scale. 1, major second, major third, perfect fourth and fifth, major sixth and major seventh. So I'm going to get, wherever I go, I'm always seeing intervals. For example, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So I sort of just made a scale to go for 3 octaves here, actually 4 octaves. Just by seeing where you're stepping. Never try to do something out of just a memorized pattern, because you may forget it. But if you're trying to see the intervals that you need, and you know what you need in case the Ionian set of intervals, then I have a whole big set of possibilities, a whole big pattern. I got a whole big pattern to make use of. So the first pattern that I like to use is this. It's going to move up in fourths because that's the nature of the strings of the guitar, how they are set. This is the pattern. I'm going to get 2 notes from one string and an open third here on the next one. So I got from the first note 1 major second, and then go up a string 1/4 and a major third. And then I'm going to move that up by fourths. So I got this. And then put a little note there for resolution. So let's put that in a beat. Taka, 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 taka. And go up by step. And of course there would be the Locrian shape here, but I'm not thinking shapes again, I'm just referring to it verbally. But I mean the last set of intervals. Again, if I was to say the intervals here, I'm thinking 7 1 3 5 3 4 6 1 6 7 9 4 9 3 5 7 5 6 1 3. So that's how I'm looking at this, so that I don't play the wrong notes, right? Now, here's another, well, let's try to use the 3-finger technique on here, just for the drill. And so on. Let's go for a new one now. This is one that I also like to use. It's basically like this. You go up a major third, and then on the next string, you go from the 5th to the 4th. So you got this. The pattern was, and then, so let's try that with the 3-finger. Let me play a little slower. Taka, 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 taka. Mixolydian. One needs to be aware, however, that these patterns are not tonal. I'm not going for one chord. I'm not trying to resolve for 1, 3, and 5. I don't have those as my target notes. I'm just playing freely as in a modal approach. Meaning, for example, if I was seen here as G Dorian over all this, all these notes would sound good. The reason why I said G Dorian is because I couldn't say the same for F Ionian, because on F Ionian, if you by any chance resolve or play the fourth on a strong beat, then it sounds like a mistake. It sounds weird. But G Dorian has a modal nature, and that means that you can use all notes of the scale all together as being part of the chord, and they all sound good. And you can take this as a proof exercise. For example, I'm going to play a G minor. I'm going to add all the possible notes. They all sound pretty nice. I got the ninth, the fourth, and the sixth, the major sixth. So it's just a beautiful chord. Here's the major sixth, here's the ninth, here's the fourth. So they all sound very nice. So this pattern, it may not sound tonal, like it may not point straight towards one triad, but it works very musically when playing in a modal approach. So the scales that are modal within the natural harmonized scale, you have the Dorian, the Lydian, totally modal scale. You can play every note on it, and they all sound very good. The Mixolydian, some say that the perfect fourth is a voided note, but I don't think so. I think when you play a fourth over a major triad, it actually sounds pretty nice, pretty fresh. The only other mode that's not modal is the Aeolian, because of the flat six, again, just like the Phrygian. You cannot play a flat six over a chord, the same as you cannot play a perfect fourth over a major seven chord. And notice these are the same intervals. Within the key of C, the perfect fourth, which is the avoided note, the F, is the same as the flat six for its relative minor, A minor. When you play a flat six, it sort of becomes a D minor with the bass on the fifth. So that's a roundup on the subject of modal scales, modal approach. Let's go now for another one. So here I'm going to think this. One note behind and the triad up. So I got 1, 7, 1, 3, 5, 3. This is something that I've seen John McLaughlin use a lot. And it basically, the pattern, you can take it up within the scale. Again, I'm using the F major scale. And now you can take another string fourth down. Here between the G and the B string, it's going to shape-wise, it's going to be a little different because these two strings are a third apart. So it's going to be a little different. Sometimes there might be a little bit of a skip here. I use the finger 1 here to make that doable. Or I pay attention to the movement of the finger 1. This movement here, I need to physically photograph this movement in my brain so that I can quickly access it, the set of muscles that's being contracted and the set of muscles that's being relaxed. In order to access this position, I need to have my hand move over here, and then and this is nice for the 3-finger technique because it's 2 sets of 3 notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Then the next, the fourth down. Going forward, how about a drill in pentatonic? So let's use the pentatonic of F major here, and then we can just go for now just 2, 1, 2, and 2 per string, like this. The main point here is more the rhythm and the right hand exercise than the content of the line. I understand that It's a very simple line, but it's just for the effect of rhythm and the physical exercise of the right hand. So we got this taka 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 taka. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could go. This is all F major pentatonic. Now let's go for something more tonally aware. I'm going to think about the triad of F major. Let's consider the F major 7 chord again, Ionian. And this is a very interesting pattern for the use of jazz and for the tonal approach now. I'm going to specifically think about targeting the F major notes. Here's the idea. I'm going to do a leading tone to a target tone. In this case is a third, my target tone. And then off of this, I'm going to stack 2 thirds. So I got a third right here and a third right here. So the pattern becomes this, simply that. And then I go for my next target note. Now the 5, I approach it with a leading tone, and then stack thirds. Now approach the 1 with a leading tone, and stack thirds. Approach the third, stack thirds. So I got this. Even here, when you are targeting the 5th, the notes that are stacked above it are the 7th and the 9th. So they're quite, well, the 7th can be considered a chord tone, and the 9th is a very welcome interval. Gives you a great sonority, so there's no problem with that. So let's run that over other shapes here of the caged system. We just ran this. Now let's target these guys. There. So I got this. Again, the 5th here. Same place. Time, 3rd, 5th, tonic, move over the 3rd to the 7th fret, 5th, tonic. Now I'm going to go for these guys here. Some of them are going to be the same. So let's go ahead and move over to this shape, the A shape F major chord. So I got the 5th, tonic, 3rd, 5th, tonic, 3rd. So in a musical situation, you would get that kind of sonority. So what's going on here? What I just did, coming back, is again targeting the F major notes. I'm doing target, leading tone, upper neighbor, target, then move over, target, leading tone, upper neighbor. In the case here is a major 9th or major 2nd. So we got this. Kind of makes you think, makes you have to arrange your fingers intelligently. Here I'm attacking with finger 3 and doing it like that. And then here I skip with finger 2. Here's a slide. So quite a fingering quiz here this became, and this is why that's how I like to practice, is just trying to explore the unseen. Every time I go for something that I try to make sense out of the note choices, such as approaching, just being conscious of either approaching target tones or going for a modal approach where the scale is open, and then I try to build possibilities, sort of mathematical possibilities, and then run them through every corner, every place. And certainly that is building my vocabulary for when I need to improvise or even compose. But when I want to play guitar by second nature, by a reflex, and just come up with lines, that's where they're going to come from, is from that kind of a practice. So let's go for one more thing here, maybe a jazz approach here. We could do this. We could use one note on the top, all in F major, okay? One note on the top string, and then I'm going to stack thirds down from it. So a third, here's the third, and then another third. So I got a little G minor triad. I could go like this, and go for the next one, and then stack thirds down. Here I came out with an F major chord. Here a E half diminished, which would have been my 7th mode, Locrian, and so on. So I got that. Let's take it to the next string. Let's make it hard. And it's funny that you can already start seeing the modes here. As I see these two major triads, obviously it's Mixolydian and Lydian. And then next are going to come two minor triads, which are my Phrygian and Dorian. And then I am at home here at Ionian. And then keeping going from there, Ionian, Locrian, Aeolian, Mixolydian, Lydian, Phrygian, Dorian, and 1. Let's do a little three-finger drill here. Maybe we could do just hitting the scales like that. 3 notes per string, 2 octaves. And then now let's try to do an exercise where we apply different rhythms to that. Let's take those simple major scales and we're going to go up and down. But let's apply it in, well, this was triads, ta-ka-ta-ta-ka-ta-ta. So let's do it now, accenting every 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, maybe quintuplets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, G Dorian, quintuplets, this is very healthy because you never know where the accent's going to land, so you got to be really ready. And that really turns on your brain cells, you know, for learning and for just being aware and just very in the present moment. Very rich practice. Let's do it, the quintuplets on G Dorian. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Phrygian. Oh. You can do this, you should do this for everything, every pattern that you come up with. Say that one we already went through. Let's try to do that in quintuplets, see what comes up with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, yeah. Was that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Major 7th, played a minor 7 there. But that's such a rich practice. And you want to try to always apply different subdivisions when you're soloing in order to make it breathe, make it organic, make it alive. You don't want to be locked in 16th notes or whatever. So I think this is a good point, good starting point. Those are just some suggestions that I like to apply when I'm practicing right hand technique. So I hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned for more. Thank you guys, till next time. Bro, I just recorded